This week on CWN, football kicked off their season.
And we have a new science wing. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Aaron, and today is Saturday, August 27, 2022. You are watching Calallen Wildcat News Weekly Review. You know, Maddie, it feels good to be back for another year of school and another year of shows.
For sure. I'm so glad to be back here, especially with the new science wing and all the new teachers.
I'm super excited, and I couldn't have said it any better. Speaking of new teachers, we managed to catch up with a few of them already.
Lily spoke to one of our new teachers, Mr. Martinez, to gain more insight on what he teaches and how he is enjoying his time here. Let's take it to them for more.
Hi, I'm Lily, and I'm here with Mr. Martinez to interview him about his first year at Calallen. So, how are you liking Calallen so far?
It's really good so far. The faculty and administration have been really supportive and welcoming, and the students seem really eager to learn, and I'm excited for what the year has to bring.
Thank you. And I heard you taught summer school. How was that?
Yes, I did end up teaching summer school for summer session 1 and 2, and it was a really great experience. I got to help out with English and do speech as well, and it was great getting to meet some of my students. So seeing them back here in the new school year was funny seeing them again. They're like, "Mr. Martinez, is that you?" And I was like, "It's me, I'm back."
That's good. And how is it teaching 5 preps as a first-year teacher here?
It's a welcome challenge. I teach graphic design 1, graphic design 2, BIM 1, BIM 2, and video game. So it's a whole different array of classes, but it's a welcome challenge, and they're fun classes. You know, they're electives here in CTE. So my goal is to give, the best content I can to my students and make it fun at the same time.
That's good. Thank you. And that's all from us. Now back to the studio.
I absolutely love Mr. Martinez. He's one of our BPA sponsors, and he's just super cool. Love him to death. There is a new boys soccer coach. We interviewed Coach Mora, who is also a history teacher, for more insight on how he feels as a new teacher and coach here at Calallen. Let's take a look.
Good morning, Calallen Wildcats. I'm Aaron Shepard. I'm here with our new history teacher and soccer coach, Coach Mora. So, Coach, where were you before this?
Before this, I was in a charter school for about 10, 12 years, and then some time in San Antonio working with 2 other ISDs out there.
So you're coaching soccer. Which of the histories are you teaching?
I teach world history.
Okay. And so you're going to new soccer team, new everything. What do you expect for them this year?
I'm looking to build on the success that they had last year, and hopefully getting to match the success of the girls. So hoping to bring a good, strong program to Calallen and keep them with the tradition of winning. So
those are some really high expectations. I wish the best of luck to you this year, Coach, and thank you so much for your time. That's all from here. Let's send it back to the studio.
And we also have a new theater teacher. Aaron managed to catch an interview with Mr. Jones to find out more on what his experience has been like. Let's check it out.
Good morning, Calallen Wildcats. I'm Aaron Shepard, and I'm here with our new theater arts teacher, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, where were you before this?
San Antonio, Texas, in Northside ISD.
That's pretty cool. So I know that you're going to be taking over the Drama Cats. What are your expectations for them this year?
We're really going to be focusing on fundraising, what we can do for our shows. We can get the Calallen High School, the community of Calallen, kind of interested in what we're doing. So that's going to be my biggest goals for that, ways to fundraise money, just ways to get our department out there and grow.
How has your transition to Calallen been?
I've loved it. It's smaller. I went to high school at a place sort of just as big as this, so it's like it has a homey feeling to it for me. So it's been really good. I'm trying to get used to the kind of less students. I was at a 6A school before this, so much less students here. So it's been a good transition, though. I've enjoyed it.
Well, I'm super happy that it's been a good transition. Thank you so much for your time.
All the teachers we have, they're all super cool. Every time I see them in the hallway, I give them a wave, and they wave right back with a good smile.
Yeah, I'm really appreciative to all the new teachers that have come to Calallen.
You know what else I'm appreciative for? Is the GP student reports. Last year we got to do a whole bunch of it with them, and let's see what GP's been doing this year.
Good morning, my name is Edsel Crystal, and here's the latest of what's been happening here at GP. GP starts fresh with new FFA officers, as well as a new ag building.
FFA wants to become a group where everyone can be a part of, everyone can learn new skills and become better leaders. Kind of what Lizzie said, FFA, what we want to accomplish is to help welcome new members and teach kids more about agriculture and about themselves.
The marching band held a surprise poster painting party this Saturday.
It was to show all of our hard work that we had done for Saturday rehearsal and just us like learning our sets, like finishing the second movement and then doing a whole run through. We just kind of needed to come in and just like do something fun and all that.
And now, on to sports. GPTV will be streaming volleyball. Our first game is August 30th against McAllen Memorial.
McAllen Memorial is a team from the Valley, and every time we play a Valley team, it is always a good game. It's always very intense, and we always have so much fun. People should tune into the live stream because we really want to get our fans involved this year. Even if you can't make it to the stands, we would love for you to tune in.
We will also be streaming football. Their first game will be September 2nd against Carroll, and it's the Battle of the Bridge.
The Battle of the Bridge is basically just a rivalry between us and Carroll. We've always played them, and for the past couple of years, we've beat them. It'll be streamed on GPTV, and you don't want to miss it. It'll be a good game.
That's all the Wildcat news we have for this week. If you liked what you saw, you can check out these 2 QR codes or check out the link below. Thanks for watching.
I also know CCISD has a deal with Scripps Media, so y'all go check them out on Saturday too. And Mr. Easton is going to be kicking off his robotics club soon. Lucy headed over to his class to find out more information on what all he plans to do. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Lucy, and I'm here with Mr. Easton, who's head of the robotics team. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so in robotics, largely what we end up doing is we end up building robots and taking them to competitions. So it really helps with, engineering design skills. We also have to program the robots to do what they need to do. So incorporate some programming skills as well, and just team building and community outreach, all in one little really fun competition.
Cool. So what competitions do y'all plan on being involved in?
Okay, so our competitions, they're going to start, first one is actually in the middle of October. Our kickoff for the season is going to happen on September 10th. So by then we'll know exactly what the game elements and what the yearly competition is going to look like. Every year the competition actually changes. So the robots that we have from last year, we're going to have to pretty much deconstruct and then rebuild for whatever new elements are going to be added to this year's competition.
Okay, cool. So if I wanted to join robotics, how would that work?
Well, we're going to have our first meeting next Thursday in my room, 605. And then we'll go over a little bit of informational stuff and may even have the kids just get in and put together a robot, try to program it and do a couple little basic things to get ready for the season.
Alrighty. Thank you, Mr. Easton. And if you want to join robotics, come see him. Back to the anchors.
Another one of the additions this year is a brand new science wing. I know for sure our teachers and students have been enjoying it and already conducting labs. On the chemical side of labs, Mrs. Johns had her class run a lab over chemical changes.
Hey cats, I'm here with Miss Johns and Lauren. So Lauren, how did you feel about the lab today?
I was really excited about this lab, and I thought it was really cool how the copper, at the end, it kind of stuck to the aluminum.
Mr. Smith conducted a lab all about safety.
Today we're just doing a demo. We're doing safety, and so I brought some ethanol out. We looked up the safety level for ethanol. One of the things about ethanol is it's flammable, so we lit it on fire, looked at how to put out a fire on your lab bench, but then we mixed ethanol with water to take advantage of both properties of ethanol, and the student graciously lent us a $10 bill, and we soaked the $10 bill in ethanol and water. The ethanol burns off because that's what ethanol does. That's one of the hazards. And the water, being water, absorbs a lot of heat energy and protects the $10 bill from
Hi,
burning.
I'm Melissa with Calallen TV, and today I'm interviewing Ms. Bortz. Ms. Bortz, what can you tell us about the experiment you're doing today?
So that's what we were doing in there.
On the other hand, Ms. Bortz had her class run a simple lab to better understand accuracy and precision.
So today what we're doing is an accuracy precision lab. It's called the Great CHS Beanbag Toss Challenge, and we are trying to reinforce our notes over accuracy and precision and measurements so they know how accurate or precise they need to be with their measurements. And they are throwing beanbags towards a specific target, and we are having a contest to determine who actually can be the most precise and the most accurate when they're throwing their 3 beanbags.
So Maddie, I know that you got to do some of those labs. How were they?
They're actually really fun. I think it's a really neat way to learn and It's a good environment in the new wing.
Did you get to do the one with Mrs. Johns?
I got to do both of them actually, the accuracy and precision and the
Chemical changes?
Yeah. We mentioned last year that Coach Lamb would be starting a new class over outdoor adventures. This class covers a wide range of all things outdoors from hunting to cooking.
The Outdoor Adventures class is a class in which we will be learning about all the various activities that we will partake in. Right now we're going to be learning about how to cook outside. We're also going to be learning throughout the year how to properly do boating safety and angling safety and how to be safe during hunting.
This class has already kicked off with some cooking activities such as working with a Dutch oven and also making fajitas. I can't wait to see what other adventures they will take on this year.
I really wish I had room in my schedule to take that class. That class looks like so much fun.
I know, imagine being able to eat in class.
It's pretty awesome. Yearbook is a very long process. We know last year's book was absolutely awesome. Logan wanted to see what new plans with the yearbook are coming up, and who better to ask than Mrs. Luby.
Hello, Calallen TV. My name is Logan Barraza. I'm here with Mrs. Luby now. Mrs. Luby, what progress do you guys have on this year's yearbook?
Awesome. I'm glad you asked. We're working on fonts and colors. We've almost got a theme nailed down, but we're not quite ready to debut it just yet.
Thank you. What is different this year than all the other years, Mrs. Luby?
This year we've got 4 yearbook classes instead of just 1, so it's a much larger staff. We're working on finding ways to manage all of that and keep everybody on the same track and working on finding some organizational systems that work for us.
Mrs. Luby, I'm curious, do you guys have any upcoming yearbook events coming up later this year?
Yeah, so we're all working around, getting lots of coverage, taking lots of pictures. We've been at cross-country meets and scrimmages and volleyball games. So we're working on that, and hopefully we're planning a trip this fall up to a yearbook conference in Dallas.
Wow, that is great. Thank you, Mrs. Luby.
Aaron, did you get a yearbook last year?
I did. Last year, Jolie was the chief editor of that, and she was our weather girl, so I knew I had to get one because it's going to be an award-winning yearbook.
For sure. And Emily caught up with Mr. Valpers for an update on band. Let's see what they have in store for us today.
Good morning, Calallen. Today I'm here with Mr. Valperts, our head band director. So, Mr. Valperts, what has the band been doing to prepare for this upcoming season?
Well, we started training on the last week of July, and we started doing 2-day rehearsals then. The first week of August, we started learning drill for our new show, which is called Nocturne. Should be very entertaining. First week of July, we started doing 3-day rehearsals, starting to learn drill, those kinds of things, and it's been going very positive. The band students have been working very hard.
So what are y'all planning on playing at the pep rally this week? Can you give us like a sneak peek or anything?
Well, we play a lot of traditional music for pep rallies and up in the stands. So we've been working, of course, on the school song. We've been working on the fight song. We won't pick our stand tune until probably the day of, but we've been working a lot of that music, and it should be really exciting.
Well, good luck to the band this season. That's all from us. Now back to the studio.
It was so awesome to see the band last Thursday. They were playing and they were getting ready for the marching season to come ahead. Our lunches have been running pretty smoothly this year, as one of our interviewers discovered for us. Logan caught up with some students to see how the lunches are going and how they're liking it. Let's send it down to the cafeteria for more.
Hello, Calallen TV. My name is Logan Barraza, and I'm here with James. Now, James, I hear you're also a part of A-Lunch.
Yes, sir, I am. The situation here is much better than it was last year because there's no tables completely crowding out the halls. There are still a few, but there are plenty of empty seats actually in A-Lunch period. I've seen some tables with absolutely nobody in them, so I would say the state of A-Lunch is we could have a few more kids in there.
All right, thank you, James. That's what I like to hear. I am now here with Ford. He is a part of C-Lunch. Now, since it is C-Lunch, I would expect it to be a lot more crazier than all the other lunches.
It's not crazy at all. I feel like all the lunches are very evenly spread out perfectly. I love the way that they spread it all out, and everyone has their own room space and just own time to enjoy their lunch and have fun here.
All right, thank you, Ford. Back to you, studio.
I know a lot of the schools in town were having some issues with the lunches being so crowded, so I'm really glad that our lunches are very spread out, and I think they did a good job with that.
They did do a good job. I'm really happy with the 3 lunches we have.
Aaron spoke to one of our former anchors, Nathan Atkinson, about becoming an FFA state officer. Let's take it to them for more.
Morning, Calallen Wildcats. I'm here with the Calallen TV legend himself, Nathan Atkinson. How are you doing?
Hey, living the dream, man. How are you, Aaron?
I'm pretty good. So, Nathan, what's your position in this FFA thing?
Oh, so I'm actually a Texas FFA state vice president. I represent the Area 10 Association, which is from the very tip of Texas down in Brownsville up to just south of San Antonio. So a pretty good area that we cover, and that's the home I'm able to represent.
What are some of the responsibilities you have?
So I have the responsibilities of all the other state officers as well as the ones here in my area. So what that looks like for us is going to be meeting with stakeholders and sponsors, going to chapter visits, going to green hand camps and different conventions. So traveling all over our area, some of the other areas, as well as meeting with important people in our industry.
So I know that you got to talk to 3 News a little bit earlier, and they were saying something like, so you have graduated, you're going to be in your freshman year of college. How does that work out with this?
Got it. So there are 12 of us on the state officer team. 10 of us are in our freshman year of college right now, and then we have 2 people that are on travel team. And so that travel team, they're actually going to dedicate a year of service off from college, and they're going to travel to 3 schools a day, 5 days a week for the year. About 40,000 miles they'll cover. For me, I get to stay in college, and I will be attending school in the Valley, which is right here in my area. So it's not going to be hard for me to manage my school and work balance, as all my trips will be no more than 3 hours away. So a lot of that's going to look like day trips, whether it be Jordanton is having an event. I can get off school, head up there, be there for the day, come back home. So that's going to be pretty manageable. I'm looking forward to being here in my area.
That's super awesome. So sophomores, freshmen, junior, seniors that are in high school right now and they want to be where you're at, what are some steps they can take?
The biggest thing is you got to get involved. It's easy to see something and want it, but taking that first step of getting there is hard. I've started working towards this goal I have a long time ago, and I wouldn't trade a moment of it. Because while you're working towards your bigger goals, you're going to make a lot of small memories in between, life-change memories. And I've had awesome opportunities here in Calallen FFA. And so if you're a freshman, sophomore, anyone watching this, and you want to get involved or thinking about it, my biggest advice to you is just know that this organization is not just about livestock and production agriculture. It's about making a better leader of yourself and being the best version of yourself you can be. And so take that risk, get involved, and you never know what may come of it.
Nathan, I know that you had a lot of scholarship opportunities. Can you tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, so scholarship opportunities are huge. I was just talking outside earlier. Not everyone can go play D1 football, D2 football. I mean, if you're 5'6", the chances aren't very good of getting those athletic scholarships, right? But in FFA, there are quite literally millions of dollars to be given out in scholarships. I received one at the state level this year. Get active, apply for those when your senior year comes around, and you're pretty likely to get one as long as you can do a good interview, which we can definitely help you get there. So there's plenty of opportunities, and get out there and get it. College is going to pay for itself.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Nathan. We miss you here at the high school and especially on set. That's all from here. Listen to Back to the Studio.
This year I hope I don't have a lot of Nathan moments, but Nathan was really awesome, and we do really miss him here. Now, let's take it to Autumn with the rundown on sports.
Thank you, Aaron, and good morning, Wildcats. Football started their season off with a pair of scrimmages where they played well and learned a lot. Aaron talked to our new athletic director, Coach Campbell, about the Battle of the Wildcats.
Good morning, Calallen Wildcats. I'm Aaron Shepard, and I'm here with our head football coach, Mr. Campbell. Coach, we have the Battle of the Wildcats this Thursday. How are you feeling about the game?
I'm excited. It's going to be an exciting game. There's going to be a lot of people here. There's a lot of hype about the game. A lot of preparation. I know that they're going to come over here wanting to revenge last year's loss over there at their place, and so it should be an exciting game like usual.
So, Coach, this game is going to be televised. Do you think that's going to mess with our players at all?
No, I don't think so. Once the whistle blows, you get out there on the field and you don't pay any attention to anything like that. In fact, one of the things that I always preach is that once they blow the whistle, you shouldn't be able to even hear the crowd, and if you're focused in enough. So, no, I don't think so.
So, Coach, without getting into too much detail, do you know how you're preparing for the week to get ready for GP?
We are preparing and have been working very hard, even started in the summertime, working on all 3 phases of the game, the offense, the defense, and the special teams. So all 3 of those things are going to be very important.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
That's all from here. Let's send it back to the studio.
Fun fact, this will be the first time since 1973 that Coach Phil Danaher will not be coaching Texas high school football. Our cross-country runners ran last week at the Toloso cross-country meet where 3 runners placed in the top 20. An impressive fleet for the second-year coach, Coach Burnett. They ran this morning, and we will have those highlights and results for next week. Caleb Schaff, former Calallen baseball player, was fortunate enough to experience and play on the Field of Dreams in Dyersville, Iowa. The Field of Dreams in a Kevin Costner movie where they play games with players who have had their infamous moments in the league. Volleyball has been competing these last few weeks where they played in a pair of tournaments. In the Spikefest tournament hosted in town, our Lady Cats came up short in the champion, falling to Vets. They bounced back into the Sinton tournament where they were champions in the silver bracket. They look to continue their success as the season progresses in district. Our tennis team has played a pair of matches against some competitive programs in Flower Bluff and GP. They played well and look to find room for improvement as district comes around. And that's the latest on Calallen Sports. Now back to the anchors.
What a great game with GP and Calallen. I was so excited to cheer on the sidelines, and I'm so excited to see our sports kicking off their seasons.
I know, I'm super excited as well. I expect a lot from them because we're looking really, really good this year.
And now here's Candace with today's weather forecast. What's in store for us today?
Thank you, anchors, and good morning, Wildcats. Today's weather is brought to you by Sonic, America's Drive-In. Today's weather currently is 85 degrees with a 25% chance of rain, and the winds blowing from the south at 9 miles per hour. As the day continues, the weather will rise up to 88 degrees with a 15% chance of rain and the winds blowing from the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Later on this afternoon, the weather will rise up to 89 degrees with a 24% chance of rain and the winds blowing from the southeast at 10 miles per hour. And later on this evening, the weather will drop down to 84 degrees, 9% chance of rain, and the winds blowing from the southeast at 10 miles per hour.
Thank you, Candace.
And that's all your announcements for today, but now it's time for your joke of the day. So guys, where do whales go to hear music?
I don't know.
The orchestra.
For all you social people out there, make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Calallen TV for all the latest updates. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos. And as always, stay classy, Calallen.